don't know that I'm necessarily speaking for my generation, but more for just a more like scientific perspective on this matter. I do have a materialist or rationalist or scientific or naturalist or whatever word you want to use take on this whole phenomenon, which is not to say that I don't think it's amazing or powerful or therapeutic. It just means that I'm not going to assign some kind of supernatural significance to certain aspects of the experience. And so, yes, I do think there's a lot of benefit to be had and that there can be very deep experiences even within that naturalist framework where you're still understanding that these things are molecules and that the distinction between natural and synthetic is not a real one. But in the movie you talk about how ayahuasca is not a drug, it's a medicine. Like, you know, those sorts of distinctions are not ones that I would make necessarily.
Why not?
Because it is a drug, technically.
Define.
Define drug, something, an exogenous chemical that exerts a biochemical effect on your consciousness.
This is a beautiful duality that we're discussing, and when you smell a duality, you should get happy because the resolution is obvious, right? So it's both a drug and conceived of as a spirit, and the spiritual approach is a metaphor that's as good as any. I think of Alex Gray's paintings. Really, we're not going to make progress with really understanding them and using them, I think, if we stay in a strictly shamanic perspective, because it doesn't really accommodate what else we know. But likewise, to take a reductionist approach, when you see certain things, like you said, the molecules. Well, what are molecules if you dig deep enough, but probabilities? So, you see what I mean? It's like, that's supernatural. So the world is really, really cosmic, and that's not supernatural. There's only one thing, and it's really, really wonderful. And people call it magic, and people call it God, and you can call it emergent properties, or whatever you want, or holism, or gestalt. You know, the words are ridiculous, but the experience, like you have in psychedelics, is inexpressible, right? And then you know you're hitting the real thing. And you know it. There's kind of two ways of knowing. You can accumulate facts, or you can kind of have a direct experience, which is then confirmed by, interaction with others who've had that as well.
Sure, and I don't think that any of this is mutually exclusive either. That's the main thing. I don't think that being a drug is a bad thing. I think culturally we've decided that drug is a bad word, but scientifically it's not a bad word. It's just a exogenous chemical that's exerting some effect on your brain. It's not bad. It's just a thing that exists. And I think there is such thing as materialist mysticism, and that you don't need to abandon science in order to be in awe of reality. And in fact, I think that science can make reality that much more powerful and that much more interesting to investigate.